Nathan, so wonderful to meet you. How are you and how have you been holding up?
I'm good, Bonnie. I've done, it's of course crazy doing all these interviews from different countries over and over, but it's nice, and it's nice talking to Canada now.
Well, we are very happy to be able to talk to you. I know that this film was featured at the Toronto International Film Festival, and that's where I first saw it. And I have to tell you, I was just riveted. Look, we all know Greta. She's been out there, and we know who she is. But you really gave us such a sense into her life. And before we get started, this young girl could possibly win the Nobel Peace Prize tomorrow. Seriously? What are your thoughts on that?
No, but I remember when she got nominated for the last year's Nobel Peace Prize. I remember that we were in an elevator at the newspaper here in Sweden, and she was planning for some strike, and I remember I joined for some time, and I remember she got like a text, or someone wrote like, "Oh, you're nominated to the Peace Prize," and she reacted just very English in the sense, like, okay.
Yeah.
And I think, and that's her way of seeing it, and I think she said many times that she doesn't kind of need more prizes, she needs kind of action.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens tomorrow, but whatever happens, I think that will be how she sees it.
Well, regardless, I mean, there's no question that she's made such an impact on our world. And what freaked me out when I started to watch this documentary, you got her literally from day one. There you are with your camera shooting this little girl who's sitting outside Parliament with a sign, not knowing what the heck would happen to not just your life, her life.
No.
I mean, seriously, where do you even go from there, Nathan? Like, how did you even keep going? You know what I mean? Like, I just found that so fascinating.
No, I know it's one of these things that you need to kind of pinch you in the arm of both the serendipity of me kind of deciding to go down there. I got a tip from a friend that knew her family a little bit, that she was going to do some small kind of manifestation for the Swedish election.
Mm-hmm.
And as I do sometimes, and I talked to my boss and I said, like, can we do research? No, give it 1 or 2 days and see if it's worth, because I think as documentary filmmakers, that's the only way,
Absolutely. Yeah.
look through the camera and see if there's anything of worth. So I went down there and asked her if I could join, and said, don't get your hopes up, in the sense that I might not be here tomorrow even, if so this might not end up in anything.
Right.
And I continued filming from there.
And it was nonstop. I mean, nonstop. It amazes me, not just what this young woman went through and her determination and her will, but her family. Like, this just uprooted everything. And I was very touched by the relationship that she had with her father. It's not a lot that we get to see unless you see this documentary, of course. Tell me a little bit about that, because I'm a parent, and I'll tell you something, I don't know if I could have endured that and still endure it,
No, but of course I didn't know anything of the family. But when Greta started to travel on these long kind of journeys down to Europe, I asked if I could join, and that was kind of the first time when I really got to spend time kind of together with her and her dad, kind of in the car, and hearing them, and I felt very early that this is such an interesting kind of relationship, and it's also a part of the film and a part of the story that isn't so climate change focused, in the sense that I think everyone can recognize that. I myself recognize from when I was a teen this relationship with the parents, of just wanting them to kind of get out of my life, but at the same time you have kind of fun with them, and you need them as well. So I think that story became a big part of the film.
Yeah, and we learn a lot about her, even from the fact where, she didn't eat for a while, whatever. And there was just that heartbreaking, when she's just so into, going to these events and things, and her dad is trying to force her to eat a banana. Like, what kind of did you learn about Greta that maybe surprised you, impressed you, moved you,
No, but I must say that I remember from the beginning of course, she has this duality and this kind of shy personality on one sense, and very public on the other end. And I think I was so impressed by how she was able to speak so clearly about this issue, and how she spent so much time reading up on not just kind of articles, but also going to the sources and the facts, and really wanting to go deep into this issue, and then taking that kind of very, very complicated message down to something that was understandable.
Mm-hmm.
And I did lots of interviews. The voiceover in the film is made out of interviews and some of her diary notes. And I remember sometimes when I did those interviews and I biked home, I just kind of kept some of those formulations that she had even in her own diary.
Yeah.
I think she has a way of condensing things down, just skipping the bullshit, and
Yeah.
going to the facts.
Yeah, she's quite amazing. Wow, God, I can hardly wait to see what she does, 10 years from now. Like if she's doing what she's
Oh,
doing now, oh my God. I mean, talk about somebody changing the world. But I get so angry, when I hear her read these stories about detractors, people who put her down and say terrible things about her. I don't understand that. And how does she, I mean, we see how she deals with it a bit in the film, but really, like, from the sidelines, the stuff that maybe you didn't get into the film, like, what's it like to be next to her, and when she hears and her family hears this kind of stuff?
no, but I was interested in that, and for a long time I didn't really know. But then this scene played out that is in the film, which I don't want to spoil it too much, but it
Yeah.
was a very interesting kind of relationship to it, and I think she has this way of dealing with some of this criticism, which is interested in the sense that if you look at some of these comments, like literally, they almost, like, there's a fine line between where is humor and where is hate, in the sense that they're so ridiculous
Yeah.
that she actually laughs about it in that scene.
Yeah, she's just unbelievable. I want to ask you, I mean, one thing about Greta, we all know she won't get on a plane, and took that boat from England to New York. Okay, how did you fare on that trip?
No, but
Honestly.
I must admit that I was actually the one who was most scared and most seasick. And it's so interesting. You never know when it comes to these kinds of adventures, who kind of who takes it best. And I was so kind of scared, and during the entire trip. Greta in the beginning was a bit kind of getting into it, but then after a while
Yeah.
she got used to it, and actually she and the captain and the father had to comfort me, because for those 2.5 weeks I was a bit like shaked all the time.
Oh, I would be with you. Are you kidding? I was like, I was feeling seasick just watching it. Oh my goodness. It
No,
was,
it's a very, I think it's also interesting, and that's where movie making is interesting, in the sense that it's sometimes hard to understand what is like a racing sailboat. I don't think anyone has been on one. uh,
yeah,
and it's of course not, we're not talking about luxury yacht or anything. We're talking about just like a carbon fiber hull and a big
exactly.
sail. It's they're stripping everything off. So it was a very special experience.
Yeah, really, really. Like I say, I just wanted to thank you for this film because it was very eye-opening. It was so well done. And at the end of the day, Nathan, what would you, after people see it, what would you like them to take from it?
No, but I think it's so interesting to see what Greta and what this many of these youth movements have done, in the sense of raising the awareness for this issue once again, and being like an alarm bell. And I think maybe we should be grateful for them being the alarm bell, but also then seeing this isn't really the responsibility of children, and
Yeah.
in a sense this is a responsibility for us as adults. And it's the product that they have to go out and strike. It's the product of us not kind of listening to them and doing something. So I think we should be listen more to our children, especially when it comes to this issue, because they are the ones who are going to live in the future, where climate change will hit very hard, and then I think they should have a say in that.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Well, again, thank you so much for your time this morning. I really do appreciate it. And you've done such a wonderful job. I honestly, I just love this documentary. I thought it was so fantastic. I can't wait for everybody to see it and really learn from it. Honestly, she's a wonderful young lady. And again, I can't wait to see what she does with her life. It's
No,
just
no one knows.
extraordinary.
No one
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing of the world. We don't know what's around the corner.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be haunting, but sometimes it's also intriguing.
Well,
Cool.
we've learned that over the last few months, haven't we? That's for sure,
Yes,
huh? Yeah.
definitely.
Well, again, thank you so much for your time. Best of
Thank
luck to
you,
you.
Bonnie.
And we hope to have you here in Toronto at some time soon when this is all over.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Okay, take care. Have
Bye.
a nice day. Bye-bye. Thanks.